The faculty, staff, and students of Fifth Ward Junior High School would like to welcome you to our Veterans Day program. We are dedicating this program to those who have served and continue to sacrifice for our country. The Fifth Ward Junior High Choir will now perform on Veterans Day, a moving tribute and thank you to the men and women who have served and who are serving our nation.
It is my honor and privilege to welcome you to our Veterans Day ceremony. Today, we come together as a grateful community to pay tribute to the brave men and women who have served and continue to serve our nation in the uniform. Veterans Day is more than a date on a calendar. It is a reminder of the courage, sacrifice, and dedication of those who answered the call to protect our freedoms. Whether they served in times of war or peace, at home or abroad, our veterans represent the very best of what it means to be an American. We are especially honored to have with us today our special guest, our local veterans and service members and their families. Your presence reminds us of the strength, resilience, and unity that define our nation. We're also honored to have our school superintendent, Mr. Frank Javier, with us today. As we begin today's program, let us take a moment not only to remember the past, but to also reaffirm our commitment to supporting our veterans and their families every day of the year. Thank you all for joining us in this celebration of service, sacrifice, and patriotism.
Our combined band will perform Thank You Doodle, a well-known folk song from the American Revolution.
Commander Scott Stewart of the United States Navy, retired. Commander Stewart served for over 20 years as a nuclear submarine officer where he earned his qualifications as a submarine warfare officer and certification as a naval nuclear engineer. His service included key leadership roles aboard the USS Santa Fe and the USS Virginia, as well as important shore assignments in training, special warfare operations, and international strategy, including a deployment to Mogadishu, Somalia. Since retiring from the Navy, Commander Stewart has continued to make an impact by leading groundbreaking technology efforts in the nuclear and defense sectors. He holds master's degrees from Harvard University and Old Dominion University, and a bachelor's in mechanical engineering from the University of Central Florida. He lives in Covington with his wife Kelly and their 5 children. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Commander Scott Stewart, U.S. Navy.
Hoo-yah! Thank you all very much, and privileged to be here this morning. I am, as was just mentioned, my background is nuclear engineering, so talking in front of people is not what engineers typically like to do. So I'm grateful for the cold weather. If you see me shaking up here, it's because of the cold weather, I promise. But anyway, I wanted to talk just a few minutes. Mr. Presenbach, I think he said 4 to 5 minutes and not 45 minutes, so I'm just going to talk for 4 to 5 minutes. But just share answers to typical questions that I get asked, and then talk about one of my biggest takeaways from my time in the Navy, the military, and then lastly, just my thoughts on what it looks like to serve as a veteran, guessing my family's perspective and some things we went through, and then also just the community involvement that I think were valuable to me on the when I was on active duty. So, first of all, questions. The first question that typically get asked is, how tall are you? They hear I'm a submariner, and they say, how tall are you? So I'm 6'6". There is no submarine-specific height limit. So for any of the tall people out here, submarines are still an option. 6'8" for the Navy, though. So if you're taller than 6'8", anybody in here more than 6'8"? No. So everyone can join the Navy. That's great. So that's the first question I get asked. I did have to walk around like this. My first submarine, and the periscope is built for 5 feet 9. So when I was on the periscope, I was bent over like this, rotating around looking at ships. So that was the downside. On the USS Virginia, it's a newer submarine. There is no periscope. It's actually like an Xbox controller that you control the periscope. So for any gamers in the room, you also may want to consider submarines. But I'm not here to recruit. So the other question I get asked lots of times is, why do you say submariner and not submariner? And so this is I guess a submariner pride thing, is you say, hey, we're not subpar mariners, we're submariners. You say submariner, we think, oh, we're less than mariners. So if you see some submarine people say submariner, that's why. Other question, how many days have you been underwater? So my longest was 53 days, so about 2.5 months, less than 2 months. But there are some submarines that go 90 days underwater, so no sunlight, things like that. The biggest adjustment is surprisingly depth perception. So when you are underwater for months, you don't see things very far away. So when you come up from a submarine, you don't run any baseballs or anything like that from it. Because you may not catch them. And then last slide, I joined the Navy. I joined, my grandfather was a Pearl Harbor survivor. I did not grow up in a military family, but that was always respected in my family. The other reason I was an engineering student, I didn't want to be an engineer, but I was interested in it, so it gave me an opportunity to join the Navy and see the world. So I decided to join for 5 years, that was it, then I'd get out, do the real world, and then ended up staying a little longer. So those are the typical questions. Obviously, if you have other questions afterwards, I can answer them. The biggest takeaway that I had from my service, as I was looking back on it, joining the Navy for, I'm sure many of the military veterans here, first of all, thank you for the service here to all branches. The biggest takeaway, you show up to any military unit. For submarines, it's people from all different backgrounds, areas of the country, very different upbringings, and you're expected to be on the team doing something. whether that's combat operations, whether that is running a nuclear reactor, whatever it is, and you have to work as a team and get along with people that you may not typically like because they're different than you. So one thing that takeaway, as I learned that in the submarine, and then I got taken out of the submarine community into the special warfare community to be the liaison for undersea special operations. That's a different community. And then as I went to Somalia, I was working for an Army general, learned a lot about the Army, learned a lot about Air Force interactions, and what each member of the team brings to accomplishing a mission. And so the biggest takeaway is, for us it's forced collaboration of saying, okay, you have to work together to do this, but then you come to learn that working together, people have different perspectives and experiences that have better ideas than I'm going to have, but that sometimes it's natural to think that we have the best idea. So, the military was a forced collaboration. It's not always our nature to want to collaborate with people not like us, but learning that and then taking that into the outside world, or the civilian world, as we say, and working with people from different backgrounds and things is really powerful to a team and accomplishing things. So I would just encourage students in here, if you're on teams with people or working through things, take time to listen and learn about other people's perspectives, because it is very valuable in accomplishing the mission. So lastly, I'm good on time. What does it mean to serve? So a lot of people, we think about veterans and it's easier, I guess we get the vision of, okay, serving, leaving home, whether it's combat operations, whether it's a supporting role, whatever it is. That's sometimes a little easier for us to visualize. When I, just a quick story of when I got sent to Mogadishu. My orders were to Djibouti, Africa. It was a Saturday afternoon. I was on the phone. I was in an argument with my wife, which sometimes happens between married people. And hung up the phone and had a voicemail. I checked my voicemail. It was an excerpt from my union saying, hey, you just got orders. You're going to Africa for 400 days. I said, okay. So I called my wife back to hear that news. But at the time, I was married. My wife, we had 4-year-old triplets, a 2-year-old daughter, and a 10-month-old son. We had just moved my dad, who was sick, from Florida to Louisiana to help my mom take care of him. And we were building our dream home, and I was a general contractor. So, and then we said, hey, you gotta leave for 400 days. So, God worked out all the details there as far as transitioning, but what you don't always envision is what impact it puts on the family. The Navy takes care of me, I leave, I have to be away from home, but I have what I need. The family is left here to try to, do a lot of different things, whether it's build a house, take care of a lot of kids. So, the family, what it looks like to serve, is obviously the family a big supporting role in doing things back at home. My wife had to, finish building a house, do a lot of things that she necessarily wanted to do. Taking care of 5 kids, without help, doing that for 400 days, not one complaint to me. So that's something I'm grateful for service. It's just the family support that is required that doesn't always get recognized. The other piece that is because we're building our house, what I learned in that moment is a lot of community stepped up to help. People like the ceiling sergeant, Mr. Joe, who I knew at the time, helped to pitch in and finish things for my family as I was gone. So the community stepped up. There's an electrician that volunteered his time to help my wife do some things when she had issues. And the community really stepped up to help us. So the community aspects involved in military, some people don't know that Navy ships, whether it's Army vehicles, a lot of the parts and things that come from those come from local industry. We were just talking about maybe in Arkansas, I know the big aviation, F-35 jets built in Arkansas, submarine parts come out of this area. So the community really has involvement in participating in supplying military vehicles. The biggest thing for me when I was in Mogadishu for 400 days is we would get care packages. And any veterans deployed in hostile areas of combat that got care packages before? Yeah. And, you wouldn't imagine, we only had bottled water, I couldn't wear a uniform where I was, so we didn't have a lot of the sweets or things. So getting Slim Jims, getting sunflower seeds, getting powdered drink mix, Propel, things like that, was great. And we get it coming from local junior highs, middle schools, different things. You get a list of people that are deployed. And that really meant a lot in a way that can participate in serving your country even at, in kindergarten, in second grade, in fifth grade, eighth grade, whatever it is. And it means a lot to the service member that is over there. Again, only a few minutes, but I'm happy to stick around for any questions. Serving the country is a community effort, and I'm sure there are a lot in this room served previously and still continuing to serve, just out of support. And just grateful for this opportunity and for the focus that you have put on as a school to really highlight this. So thank you very much for having me today. That's all I have for today.
The Fifth Ward Junior High Band will now perform American Spirit March. The choir will follow with a message of gratitude honoring those who serve and their families, one nation.
Each branch of America's Armed Forces has their own distinctive anthem. And so it is with great pride we present the official songs of the Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, and Coast Guard to honor our distinguished guests who are in attendance today. We invite the veterans to rise when you hear your anthem, when you hear your anthem being played.
Fifth Ward FFA officers will read Freedom is Not Free, a poem by Coast Guard pilot Kelly Strong in honor of his father, a Vietnam veteran.
I watched the flag pass by one day. It fluttered in the breeze. A young Marine saluted it, and then he stood at ease. I looked at him in uniform, so young, so tall, so proud. With haircut, square, and eyes alert, he'd stand out in any crowd.
I thought, how many men like him had fallen through the years? How many died on foreign soil? How many mothers?
How many pilots, planes shot down? How many died at sea? How many foxholes were soldier graves? No, freedom is not free.
I heard the sound of taps one night. When everything was still, I listened to the bugler play and felt a sudden chill. I thought of a graveyard at the bottom of a sea of unmarked graves in Arlington. No, freedom is not free.
I wondered just how many times that taps had meant amen, when a flag had dropped a coffin of a brother or a friend.
I thought of all the children, of the mothers and the wives, of fathers, sons, and husbands with interrupted lives. On behalf of Fifth Ward Junior High students, faculty, and staff, we want to thank you for your service to our country. You truly are America's heroes.
Day is done, gone the sun, from the hills, from the lake, from the skies. All is well, God is nigh. These words are beautiful and appropriate in the music of the wonderful call. Taps is traditionally played by the military to signal the end of the day, as well as the laying to rest of a soldier. Today we will have taps to end the program. Students, do not applaud at the end. Would everyone please stand?
You may be seated. Thank you so very much for coming to our program today. We really appreciate it. Teachers, you may start bringing your students out.